Welcome back, everybody, to episode, what, are we on 38, 39, 40 of the Inexorables? One of those numbers.
Believe that this is 38.
38 of the
I
Inexorables.
also have this as 38.
Last time, we finally got
Oh my
out
god, I just realized something. Bullshit.
What?
Can't hear you. So my iPad and my Xbox share balancers individually for your guys' accounts. But on my Xbox, you guys are loud as fuck all. And I can't hear enemy footsteps in Battlefield. So I turned you guys all down to like 50%. And now I can't fucking hear them. Sounds like a little whisper in the back of a church.
Yep, that's me, hiding in the back. Anyways, last time we got out of the Red Rice Massacre, with Rikus dying, Secure and I, staying unconscious for about 70% of that fight. Leopold and Wayne, carrying the team again. After that, pretty much regrouped with the team, took stock of losses and, a couple, steps we have to take moving forward, and returned back to the estate to recuperate for the night, because we used a lot of resources that we probably won't get back. Other than that, small conversations here and there, but I don't think anything too important happened. Aside from us finally deciding to rip the band-aid off and, write to Varys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's mainly it.
Fair enough. With the Red Rise Massacre, many deaths occurred, including 22 of the 40 senators. Meaning, for someone like Leopold, who would know very, very well what that means, and that being that the Court of Lords is now in full control. The Court of Lords and the King, obviously, are in complete and total control of the Caladrian Empire at this point, as the Senate is dissipated following such a mass casualty event, upon which less than 50% of the Senate is left alive. So, we have not yet seen the repercussions of that, and we may not see it for a little bit, but that is a very important thing to note. Many guards and civilians were killed during the riot, and nearly every shred of evidence found thus far points towards a Khatanate attack of one form or another. So, as we begin on the day after something that will definitely be going down in the history books of the Caladrian Empire and Volusia as a continent in its whole, what would you guys like to do? We are waking up with, as far as I know, everyone but Rikus slept at the Caladron estate, unless Leopold decided to also sleep at the Bronze Basilisk.
I probably would have gone back to the estate.
So, we're gonna go ahead and start with our larger chunk of people as those who slept at the estate. Lennon, Leopold, Wayne, what would you guys like to do this morning? It is expected that at some point this morning you will probably have some form of discussion with Lycus after you guys have come to a conclusion on what your plan is.
I'm going to start the morning with my prayers.
Daddy, thank you very much for helping us yesterday.
Daddy, who started yesterday's fight?
Waste a spell slot on augury for that.
Not augury, and it might not be a waste. Let's see. Okay.
So what's this feat called again? I forgot.
It's called divination.
Okay.
It's the 4th level spell, and I've got 3 slots now.
He does have 3 slots to ask, so he could burn all 3 of these. He technically has 4 casts of this, because he has a 5th level slot he could use for it too.
And then you can just start recycling sorcery points. if you really wanted to.
Okay, let me. Okay, so let's read the definition. You ask one question about a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. I would obviously allow that to stretch into the past, as you are divining a question that you do not know.
I don't know. This is forward.
I'll allow this. I think it's fair. I mean, it's still asking a question about information that you do not know. I mean, it's rules is written. I could say no, fuck you, but I'm interested. So you burn incense to ask the question.
Yep.
So phrase to me again exact words what you are asking.
Daddy, who started the fight yesterday?
Okay. As you say that, I need to pull up some notes from like 7 sessions ago.
So much happened in one day.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So, as per usual, this small rift appears in front of you as time seems to almost become null to your senses. And as this doorway opens, this chiseled face with blue eyes and long, shaggy blonde hair appears in front of you with nothing but a face. It replies, "The Senator Gerald Winterhold fired the first shot inside of the Senate Council meeting yesterday afternoon."
Fuck.
Quick out-of-game question, DM.
Yes.
Did Gerald Winterholm survive?
Gerald Winterhold did not. None of the 3 senators who seemed to be attacking the other senators survived. One of them was knocked unconscious and I believe was bleeding out when the rocks fell. One of them was stabbed by Sakir. And then I believe the last of which was Garth Dimwius. He was still conscious when the rocks fell, and he was crushed as a rock fell right on top of him. So none of the 3 survived, and none of their bodies would really be truly recoverable in like a sense of, hey, let me just bring this entire body out. They're splatted, they're
Figured that
all
out.
over the room. Yeah.
On hindsight, probably shouldn't have asked Sakir to check on that last senator.
Oh well.
As he
probably would've died
starts
in
to
the rock.
back into his portal, I just drop another block. I go, but Daddy, that's not what I meant. Who was the mastermind behind the assault?
Okay. So, because you're asking a very, very specific question, and you just asked one previously, pretty much on the same line, I am going to have you roll a luck check. Because dice are beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Do I have luck on?
I don't know if you do, but you have a +4 to luck.
Do not.
You've got a big old luck bonus.
Boundary doesn't have one.
Yeah, I do. I guess I'll just roll a d20 then.
Oh!
Oh! What is Thomas doing here? No! Oh, dear Jesus.
I do not understand the Thomas the Train Engine, by the way.
It's only on nat 20s.
Only on nat 20s does he come. Okay.
Take it out of context. Clip it.
Let me... Because you rolled a nat 20, I have to pull up some more notes to give you some more
Hell yeah.
accurate details.
He's pulling out the star charts.
Pulling out the star charts. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Nate, do you want a response via the goofy looking Chad face through this terror in reality? Or would you like a vision putting you effectively in first person in a couple scenarios? You may have to use your intuition and insight a little bit more with the first person view, but you may get a little bit more details with that. Or do you just want the blanket report?
I think the visions would be dope.
Visions would be dope. Okay, so we're going to change the music if we're doing visions. Okay. So you kind of look into the eyes of this creature staring at you, and its eyes roll back, and pure radiant light is shed from these eyeballs, in which you get lost in but a moment as your eyes roll back into your head, and you almost fall into a seat where you open your eyes again. And you're on the Senate floor. You're looking around, and you seem to be looking through the eyes of, you can't tell if you're a guard or you're an aide or someone on the outside of the Senate center. Around the side, you're looking around, and you see all 40 of the senators set in the middle, and you see Lycus Aranin beginning to take the stage. As you're sitting there, you kind of have somewhat limited vision, but you're able to look around. I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
17.
17. As you're kind of looking around, some of this blurry vision on his peripherals kind of become clear, and you're looking from side to side, and you see the statues, the golems sitting upon the corner of the room, that you immediately lock and are almost a little scared of after seeing what they did to all of these people yesterday. But the sense in the aid, as you kind of look down, you see normal-looking, well-clothed robes. This person seems to be someone more from the western side, probably Troja, maybe Zadash, due to the robes that they're wearing. And you see them kind of look forward, and just over to their left, you see a man begin to kind of make a move. You see a slight shift as you look over, and you see, as I'm going to pull up my notes once again, because I need a lot of notes for this. I need a lot of notes. Fuck you and your nat 20, by the way.
I'm buying time for Jade to get here.
Yes, you very much are, and you're probably going to get a lot of useful information out of this, too. You look over, and you see, immediately catching your eye, Savorium Lucar. As, that's the only real senator that you knew coming into this. You've had a conversation with him once or twice. And you see him, and Lycus begins to speak, and this is his anti-war proclamation, starting something along the lines of, as I have spoken with many of you yesterday, I was unable to reach some of you for one reason or another. This would, and he just continues to go on, and every now and again Savorian will clap and applause, and it seems like there's a pretty, you wouldn't say a majority, but you would see that probably somewhere between 10 and 15, seem to be very approving of what Lycus is saying. But as you kind of lock your eyes in, you see the man beside him. A human, long flowing blue robes, this kind of like rusty brown blonde hair, that you see kind of looking around and almost kind of nervous. At least it seems that way, up until he kind of turns and looks behind him, and you actually catch him looking towards one of the golems. And then you see him like tapping his thigh, almost as if he's waiting for something.
Yep, it'll be kind of the same as last.
And then, in but a flash, he seems to stand up, and before he does, when he was looking over to the side, you caught his eyes, which are seemingly a usual like brown, darker color, flash yellow for a second as he kind of looks back at the golem and then looks forward, and you see him, you're looking at him from behind, so you can't quite see what he opens his chest out to, but as he opens his robe, a concussive blast is launched out from him, and all the chairs are thrown off to the side. And just a few moments later, you see the first golem rise. And then, but a second later, you see another one, seemingly a halfling man in the back corner, slit the throat of another senator over there. Hi, Jade. You're joining at a beautiful time. We'll explain in a second. And then you see off on the other side of the room, a dragonborn seemingly breathe their breath out and almost catch a few of the senators as they're trying to run. And then a second later, as these eyes that you're looking through turn, a ginormous stone blade is driven through them, bisecting this person as one of the golems has gotten up to kill this aide that you were looking through their eyes. In a dying look towards what's going on, you kind of look over and almost like rising out of this body as this vision ends, you can't help but notice many of the senators they're not in their right mind. They're running wildly, trying to get to the security room, trying to get out of the room to the main doors. But if you didn't know better, you would have sworn that the senators, who seem now, with this information, to be thralls of one form or another, to be targeting certain senators.
You said the ones that are doing the targeting of others are the ones who seem to be the thralls?
Yes. So Gerald Winterhold, the one who started this, turned over and his eyes flashed yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly indicating that he might be a thrall. And he seems to have targets. Like, he's not just firing into the crowd. It seems very much that in this dying end of the vision, as your vision is completely eviscerated as it rises, that the golems were not looking towards the senators at all in the beginning. They were killing the aides, they were killing the guards, they were killing the extras. And it was the three senators who had turned that were targeting specific other senators. As you kind of rise out of that, you fall in almost standing. And you're now... You seem to realize that you've been dragged through the ceiling of the Senate floor and are now placed in the eyes of a pair of guards out front the server room above the Senate floor. As you're looking out, there seems to be like a joke cracked between these guards as there are two standing at the door and you're one of them, and a patrol is walking by. But a moment later, a flash occurs. You feel intense heat upon your armor as it does nothing to flame, hurting your skin. And this intense pain hits for a moment before this person seems to steel themselves. They're a Senate guardsman. They're here to protect this. This is the Foundation. You seem to have gone back just a few minutes. Maybe 2 minutes. And this guard rounds the corner, and you see a group of 4 people heading your way. You immediately recognize Sharamisia, the elven woman who Rikus killed yesterday. You see her leading a group of 3 others, all seemingly dressed in this strange yellow and orange attire with this like black-brown overcloak that is set above them. As they kind of reveal their blades, you see underneath these cloaks this, you can't tell if it's plate or half plate, some kind of breastplate beneath them, which has 3 radiant heads and some other paraphernalia around it that you can't quite tell, but you immediately recognize the symbol as some kind of symbol towards the Khatanate trio of gods that they worship. As they're revealing their blades, they move up to the Senate Guard, and there's a whole patrol that comes around the corner, as well as the extra patrol that was asked to be sent by you guys arrived just before this combat ensued. As this ensues, there seems to be silence, but a second into this fight, as the Senate Guard are trying to contact or communicate to anyone, but seemingly anyone who attempts to make some form of message is targeted and immediately killed. As this Senate Guard is blown back, on their dying blow, he looks back over his shoulder and sees other guards dying to another group of 4. That group led by the large, heavily armored foe of Palat. Slashing and cutting and beheading through the plate armor, these soldiers are just eviscerating these Senate guards. As you kind of are in the final death throes of this Senate Guard, and one of the people wearing Khatanate garb steps up, you see his weapon has a similar shine, but instead of the 3 radiant heads, you instead see 1 flaming horse.
And that was on a sword, you said?
And that was on the blade of this man. I would like you to roll me a history check.
On the blade?
So on the hilt of the blade, that symbol is almost
okay.
like burned into it and set in red, so it's very easy to see.
And this is Palat specifically?
No, this is one of the people
Okay.
following Palat.
Okay.
And it's a flaming horse?
It is a flaming horse. There is a rider who seems to be bearing a single sword. He is not wielding shield. Completely armored. There is a slight radiant glow to him. But the most important thing that you note is upon his helmet, there is a pair of horns that curl out and then down.
May I ask, is this
Yeah.
like a vision?
So
that-
he asked his daddy via divination what happened yesterday. And on his first question, he got a basic-ass response because he asked a basic-ass question. He attempted to double down in that, in which I asked him to roll a luck. He rolled a natural 20. So I therefore asked whether he wanted the information in a more documentary form, where it's spoken to him, or via visions. So we're going through a
Visions.
couple visions right now. History check.
History check. Not very good at this one.
Oh!
Especially not now.
Have absolutely no clue what this symbol means. but it seems kind of important.
It's the men's bathroom
maybe.
symbol.
So as the blade strikes down, the skull of this Senate guardsman is split as the blade goes through the visor at his helm, and then is drawn back as your vision seems to dissipate. There is one last vision we're going to go after, though. And this one is not from the perspective of one person or another. You are in the corner of a room. You're a fly on the wall. You don't recognize the place immediately, but these quartz stone walls surround this room with what seems to be a singular rune set at the top of an arched doorway at its end. There is a small, maybe for the size of the room, since it's a nearly 40-foot long room by about 15 to 20 feet wide, you can't quite tell perfectly. But the small 8-foot by maybe 4-foot table sits at its end, upon which a large, you would almost call it a throne, but it's really just a big chair, is set. And there's a series of smaller chairs set around it. You are behind this primary chair. So as this dark-haired figure, which you can only tell by the bangs that come out as he is cloaked, you cannot tell who this creature is. But...
And they're sitting in the big chair?
He's sitting in the big chair, yes. And he seems very imposing. Nearly everyone else down the table, upon which there are 7 people, none of whom you recognize off the front, are sat. You note that the 2 at the far end one of them seems to be a scribe, as he is hurriedly noting down things. And the other seems to be some kind of guard or maybe general. You can't quite tell. But the other 5 are wearing a very, very distinct, unique robe. And you could see some of their faces, but as I mentioned, they're not known to you. But each of them are wearing a uniformed robe. It is an auburn robe all the way down as its primary color. Upon a center stripe that goes down its back is this like burnt orange with stripes of like this deep yellow around their arm in 4 different stripes going around, completely encompassing the sleeve of this robe. You see set on the table seems to be a pair of books that you immediately recognize as seemingly books that are very, very similar to the ones you found in that hiding house where you followed Pilat and Sharamisia to the day before this massacre. You see also what appears to be like a clay stage, minifigures, you could say, on this table that looks eerily similar to the Senate floor, which you've attempted to dedicate to memory since yesterday. It's burned into you. You hear... Actually, I'm going to have you roll a perception check to see what you hear.
Alrighty. Perceive this! 18.
18. I have to pull up more notes.
You're finally getting to use all these notes that you've been writing down for months and never referencing.
Not particularly wrong.
All hail the nat 20s.
All hail the nat 20s. As you're kind of looking out upon this, you hear This immediately catches your ear. You have a really hard time hearing what's down there. But you hear one of these auburn-robed individuals, one of the 5, seemingly at the end, the one sitting farthest down the table, speak out. Quenta, are we certain that this is a good idea? Yes, it will bring about much chaos, and yes, you have found allies in this place to help with this ruse. But it is disconcerting. It will... Let me put it simply. As the Viscount of Worry, I must say that I am quite saddened to hear about the lack of influx of gold that will occur because of this. I understand that you have made the promise to fulfill our coffers during this time. But I must say I am still worried. You hear another say, as Strife over here spoke of earlier, I cannot necessarily say I agree with this action. However, we are allies in this and will not separate. But it is disconcerting that you would make such aggressive moves without even completely giving knowledge to your allies or even those in your own organization. You hear in this voice infused with wisdom and power come from the man sitting at the end of the table in the throne. And he says, "It is not your place to worry about these things. I have brought all 4 syndicates to the table. There will be money to be made in arms, in your drugs, in your deals, and this war will not last very long. We have seen to it." As that said, I'm gonna have you roll one last luck check to see if you can stay, as you're pushing the boundaries, trying to listen in on this. Lord. Dear Lord. You hear one of them kind of lightly slam his fists upon this table and say, "The long-term benefits very likely will not outweigh this short-term shortcoming. We are new to this scene. We have come from afar. We are unable to survive long periods without letting anger rule. You cannot press such frivolous actions, and yes, I understand there are people that you wish removed, places you wish to put your own people inside of. But this is rash, Quentar. You cannot truly believe that you can take over the precincts that you wish." You hear this response come from the man at the head of the table. Something that frightens everyone at the table. As when it's said, you immediately see them all almost taken aback. As he says, and as he stands, "I already have." And you are pulled out from this vision, and you are on your floor, currently in the fetal position. There is sweat dripping all over your body. You have been placed in a very, very, very difficult for the even astral elven mind. I would like you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, boy!
You're pretty good at those two. Let's see if your luck holds up.
Nope!
Nope. Damn, that's crazy. A 20, 2 1s, an 18, an 11. You will be
I don't
taking
know how to roll.
you will be taking a level of exhaustion due to these visions. You went to bed and you slept long last night. Your usual 4 hours stretched 7 or 8 hours. You are not quite as tired as you were when you went to bed last night, but you are certainly lowered in your functions right now. But you gathered a lot of information. And I might have given you too much, even for a 20, but we're going to roll with it.
I'm here for it.
So, Leopold, Lennon, as you wake up in the morning, what would you guys like to do?
Oh yeah, we're here.
You guys exist.
I'm gonna go.
Where was
join-
Leopold sleeping at?
I was.
All 4 of them were at the Caladron estate.
Yeah. I figured I'd go back because the estate probably has better beds, but I can definitely go over there and join everyone for breakfast. So I mean,
Right.
still need to probably do a little bit of planning with Yvonne and Theobald anyway.
All right.
How we're gonna get them out of the city.
Since you're moving there, we're gonna join you with Rikus here in a minute. Lennon, did you have a plan to do in the morning?
Yeah, Lennon waking up as he's like getting prepared for the day. He'll like unfold the note and see if there's like any change.
You see a very short message, seemingly written in the book. You see, I'm sorry, I'm not quite certain what I have done to receive such a remark. I'm assuming Rikus was drunk last night.
Figuring that there's nothing to lose since we've already, started writing, then we'll just flip the page over. It was a very stressful day yesterday. Apologies for losses.
Okay, we'll see when he writes back.
Yeah, and after that, then we'll close the book, put it in, and then go to find whoever.
Okay. As you wake and
Secure.
go to look around, the first one you find would be Secure. He's in the room closest to you. So Secure, what are you doing this morning, as you have also just woken?
Security, you need your blood?
Yeah, you probably open up the door and he's just like has like a vial that he's heating up. What's up?
Are you ready? Ready? You probably shouldn't do that in the estate room. They're gonna notice. Probably.
It'll be alright. I would put some olive oil on the walls. It'll be good.
Right.
I've done worse. Don't worry. You can
Smatter
up
them in
a
lavender.
thing of blueberry jam. No lavender. You want to do it? That's fine. I'm leaving.
Yes, Thomas.
I'll give a small interjection. Lennon, I will like to remind you, I look back at one of the VODs of our shopping spree from our in-person session. You bought an item that basically gives you free use of prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I am going to like peek in the room and like start bringing it out. It's like, do I need to secure? Hold on, do I need to use this? How's the room look? How much?
You kind of
Here,
look up
secure.
and you note that Secure, probably in his exhaustion after waking up this morning, has probably, since you've been here a couple days, done this every morning. And you see, like, the yellowing of the, like, popcorn in the ceiling above as the smoke has begun to damage the very obviously lower quality servant quarter rooms.
Well, alright. Secure, give me a lift. We're gonna try and
There's a
fix this.
stain and a smell.
Well, luckily it's the servant quarters. We can't do anything about the smell, but we can probably do something about the stain, hopefully. Eslin will try and, like, just press his cleansing stone to, like, the roof to try and...
Okay, yeah.
You know,
You'd
as
be
much as I
able
can.
to clean up most of the place, and for the time being, make it smell good. But
Yeah, I'll just crack open a window and it's like, oops, sorry, we were injured yesterday.
we almost
Uh,
died.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll forgive.
At least do it in the kitchen.
I tried. They kicked me out.
Which kitchen did you try to use?
I don't know. Location of kitchen, Zach. Can I make it up?
You can make it up.
Yeah. Oh, I did the one downstairs, but there's the lady cook there is very not happy about her blue counters turning purple, so to speak.
If they were blue counters, that's probably the kitchen for the higher, the main kitchen for, you know, the royals and nobles and.
I could try a different kitchen.
Maybe we'll ask if there's a. If we're here another day, we'll see if there's another kitchen.
I'm almost done here. It's behind by a couple of seconds. There we go. And he takes it off and puts it in a larger flask and just starts shaking it up.
I still need to. Why do you need to consume blood every day, anyways? Your brother
Well,
doesn't.
we're two different types of blood hunters. His hematology is specifically focused on mutating his own blood. Mine is making sure my blood doesn't impact the way I think, so to speak.
Certainly, there are other substances you can consume that could aid in that, aside from blood. No.
Well, the thing is,
Well,
he contemplates for a second. He's thinking if he should lie to you.
We'll discuss it on the
Because-
way. On the way to breakfast.
Sure. Yeah.
So, as you guys walk down the hall, do you attempt to rally Wayne to go with you?
If it's on the way, I guess.
It would be on the way, yeah. I mean, you guys are pretty much in the same hallway, so.
You want to wake him up, or should I?
Do we? Yeah, fine. Yeah, let's do it.
Probably should.
Probably. Just go over to the door.
As you go up to the door, you knock on the door. As you're about to knock, the door swings open, and completely drenched in sweat, you see Wayne, Casaurus Rex, standing in the doorway.
Did you jack off all night, or what? What's wrong with you?
Are you okay?
Surrounded by cum.
You have a problem, man.
Roll perception to see if there's cum on the wall.
I
He
swear, if I have to
busted the
clean
largest
another
nut
room-
getting a vision. There's just
I
like
was so enthralled by the vision, my god,
a nut-sized.
uncontrollable 45-minute orgasm like a fucking fire hose while I was in this vision.
It's like,
And that is why I have a level of exhaustion. Because I literally jizzed out my entire sleep from last
He
night.
has also ran raw his entire penis.
No, it's just inverted.
It's just glowing red.
It is a red rocket right now. It is so beat up. It's swelling.
I
I
should
knew
call.
you had a problem, but Celine, man, you gotta clean yourself up.
looks down.
Celine?
If that lasts,
What the fuck is Celine?
Yep. if that
Moon
lasts for
goddess.
more than 3
No, it's
hours, you
Saloon.
we might need to have a talk, Wayne.
You might be thinking of Stellan, right?
No,
I
it's
saw it.
Saloon.
That's okay.
Saluna.
Secure just like Secure doesn't like worship one god, so and he like he went to the Goblin Lands and they have a ton of misconceptions about what the gods do, and like their own made up lore. So he has a ton of things. He's like, yeah, that's Celine. Yeah, the moon. That's her. That's her. That's her pressed up against the glass of the sky.
What?
What?
Fucking read.
What?
The two moons in the sky.
They might have found somebody with a worse understanding of religion than Wayne.
Yeah.
I feel that you're gonna need a talk with Gendo about this one. Wayne, are you okay?
I think I literally said that. I think I literally said that to Gendo, and he just laughed.
Is Celine like?
Yes,
your
he
new
did just
girlfriend?
laugh. That is correct.
Is Celine like your new girlfriend or something?
Celine Dion.
Celine.
No,
Also, Wayne, are
exactly.
you
I
okay?
might be saying it wrong.
I feel like shit, Lennon, but thanks for asking.
Do
I
you
did
need-
see it all, though.
What?
And it is the Quintar behind this. And the Orange Robe people, they got weird-ass fucking names. But it's okay,
What?
because the Syndicate's gonna make money. But I don't think that's actually good.
What are you? What orange? Is this the same weird merchant in gold you have to be careful about?
I don't know.
Do you need the looks down? If that lasts for more than 3 hours, we're gonna have to have a talk. But do you need any immediate medical assistance?
Secure's just mumbling something about magic
I'm
post
tired
nut
of
clarity.
Magical post.
But otherwise, I don't think I slept last night.
It doesn't look like you did. What?
But it's okay, I saw it all.
So what? Oh man.
The Senate room and Chartreuse chopping a dude's head in half. I did watch an aide get sliced in half by the golem, so that was kind of wild. I died, but I didn't die.
What?
Is he sane, Zach? Can I
Shit,
would
fine.
Secure look at
Roll
him and
an
be like,
insight check.
"He's a sane person right here."
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll roll a medicine check just immediately on.
'Cause-
Medicine.
Secure's
As
thinking
he
of, like,
does, he
I might
gonna
need
have
to
a
walk into the
psychopathic
room.
break.
Yeah, let me just. Nope. Oh,
Oh!
Here, I can't even see my own roll. What I roll?
pretty good.
Pretty
Okay.
good. It's not popping
Okay.
up for some reason.
I think you had it set to like private or something.
I think you might have.
All
I
right,
saw
straight roll
somebody
anyway.
roll that 20, but I
No,
don't know who it was.
You had a nat 20, so I'm going to let you keep it.
I
Okay.
Everyone saw it fall on the nat 20. You just probably
Yeah.
accidentally rolled
Agree-
it to
Yeah,
just
no,
yourself.
I can't even see the die on my screen. It's not popping up.
Nice.
So anyway,
I mean, I can't, but I'm also not
I'm
looking.
looking at you. I'm looking at you like, okay.
He looked.
So
wait,
you
wait.
have vision.
There's something important, but I don't understand it.
Lynn's like getting
There's a flaming
like, a
horse
towel.
with a dude with a sword, and he's got a helmet with horns, and they go like "Rear."
Like a tiefling?
It's super important, but I don't know.
Flaming hole. Lynn's gonna start
Here.
like getting a towel like a.
Dude,
cold
this is
towel out.
important. You had some kind of vision. We should go and meet with the others
God,
about this before you, unless there's something that shouldn't be told to Rikus or Leopold.
I feel like
Which
we're
I
not
assume
the
nothing.
most well. I feel like us two are not the most well equipped for these types of situations.
I also heard one of them yell "Aloha snack bar," and then the entire room blew up.
Is this another weird sex thing?
No, I think that's foreign
And you
language.
can never tell.
I think so. He busted his entire load all over the Senate room.
Okay, come with us, Wayne.
A massive wave launched from him.
Wayne, out of the doorway. Come on.
I've got something stuck in my eye really bad. I'll be right back.
God.
I just started walking away, and you're just like sitting there, like talking about.
All right,
Wait.
since the other two have left, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now, and we can all just leave on rotation.
Cool. Yeah, right. 'cause
The
it's just-
DM is gone. The DM is gone. Post Wayne Fuda.
over in Kondura, just the Aloha snack bar is now
I will have to
becoming-
now open up
the new
questionable links to get not safe for work generated images
Don't
of
do
Wayne in Fuda.
it. No. You need to stop.
Well, actually, Leo's gone too. We could we could Fundari your bot. Ah, yes. Busty made with huge horse cock.
Stop. The recording is still going.
Oh, I know.
Good lord.
Zach just plays it back. Horse cock? What? I don't remember this.
Are these Umas?
Wonders why his VOD gets flat.
Oh man. How?
Hi, Zach.
Hi, sorry guys. I may or may not have, even though I wore protective glasses, gotten some metal shavings in my eye today, and I thought I got them all out via magnet.
All right.
I did not. I
Wait.
don't think.
All right, quick. Now somebody else leave to continue the cycle.
Okay, got you.
Hey guys, I gotta jerk off.
Flag for nudity.
Sorry. I had to
No,
make it
no, no.
accurate.
Look, this is just so YouTube's new AI knows we're all adults.
Yeah. What happens if like one of us was born on a gap year, or not on a leap year?
Leap year.
Yeah.
It goes by standard years, not your birthday.
Such discrimination.
Yep.
This is very relevant.
That's it. Don't stop. No, Thomas.
Don't stop.
Thomas, don't do it. It's not worth it.
What, did you hear it?
Nope.
No.
Uh-oh.
I think that's
Soundboard
okay.
machine broke.
Good.
It's okay.
We'll move on.
We don't need to hear it.
Hold on.
I'm holding.
Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock and eat horse.
Damn it.
Sorry, it is very relevant.
Banger.
Rewatch the VOD. Anyways.
As
Moving on.
yeah, as we're walking away, I'm gonna just like try and shoot Leopold and Rikus a message. It's like, hey, we're gonna need some help
Okay.
trying to
So before we get to that, we're gonna go to them because they've been awake for a little bit. So, Rikus, Leopold. I'm gonna say Leopold gets there probably soon after you awake, Rikus.
Yep.
What were you doing?
Rikus, after coming out of his trance, has been sitting on his bedside, just staring kind of off to the wall in front of him for quite a while, and then he hears his stomach growl and goes, yeah, I'm going to need some food. And kind of shakes himself out of whatever that was, goes downstairs. Is anyone else downstairs yet, or am I the first awake?
I'd say Theobald is awake, but Yvonne is not yet.
Okay. Well, I sit at the table with Theobald
Aiden.
and wave
No.
down the
Barmaid.
barmaid for a breakfast platter and breakfast ale, and then I flip her a gold and say, "This will cover anyone who comes to the table."
She kind of, thank you, sir. And then goes off to retrieve it. As you're kind of sitting there, Theobald seems to have like a set of what looks to be like graph paper set in front of him and seems to be drawing out some kind of design.
Waiting for the food, I kind of in and out of spacing out and kind of looking around, kind of just daze in like kind of like a daze every now and then. But then I kind of glance over at the designs and lean ever so slightly to see what those designs are what's happening on that design.
It seems to be... Currently, there is merely what looks to be like what would usually be some kind of bipod setup, but instead based around like straps one could put around shoulder and neck to prop something up on their shoulder. And it seems that he, knowing that Leopold lost one of his turrets yesterday, is attempting to design something new for him.
I am completely unaware that his turret's gone.
Yes, you are.
I kind of just nod, like, okay. I don't know much about the ways of designing new armaments and things like that, so I just kind of keep to myself and rub my very not hand looking hand. I'm assuming it kind of like looks like a hand, but is more like locked in like this. Just in case
It's
I needed
more locked in a position where you can kind of hold it here, but also
I could hold it there.
you could
of
prop things
yeah.
up. You could utilize it was to be a second hand for your rifle.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure I'm getting the visuals right on what my hand looks like. I'm gonna kind of rub that and fetch into my coat pocket. Taking off my right glove, because I usually wear gloves. My left glove's obviously destroyed. But taking off my right glove, I'm just going to be palming that stone that I have in my hand.
Yeah.
And just kind of waiting for breakfast.
So would Leo arrive before or after breakfast? Or has been served, I should say.
Leo would arrive not before breakfast has been served, but certainly before it's been finished.
Do we just jump to that then?
Yeah, we'll jump to that.
No.
Does Yvonne, I'm assuming, comes down at some point?
Not yet, no. Not before Leopold arrives.
Okay. Good.
Well, Leo will arrive. See Rikus and Theobald. Take a seat at the table. Just probably order something quick from one of the barmaids. Hand her, a gold of his own, and say, ask, is Yvonne not up this morning?
Theobald kind of looks over. Not yet.
Well, how are the both of you doing this morning?
Feel like shit.
Oh yeah. My
Yes,
neck.
I do. I'm sure you'll feel worse.
Looking at Leopold, I go. Well, my neck feels like shit still. I don't know if that's gonna go away anytime soon.
Well, just be glad you still have the head to heal that neck. Always gotta look on the bright side of things, right?
Still don't quite know what happened there. But,
Well, if you want me to give you the full rundown, looks around the very empty tavern. I trust Theobald, and it's not like it's particularly, well, it's not like it's particularly sensitive information, but as long as you're okay with it being discussed out in the open.
I died. I don't see how this is sensitive.
I simply wanted to be considerate. Didn't know how you felt on the matter. But
I have no idea.
Well, the long and short of it is, well, you managed to get the final shot on that mage. It was Kermesia, I think her name was. Then that fighter, Palat, came over and chopped your head off in revenge. Afterwards, well, wasn't exactly much of a body for him to recover of Camisia, but he took what remained and teleported out of there. Frantic, Wayne and I tried to bring you back, and, well, we made what sacrifices we thought were necessary. I don't think anyone's going to be missing that axe, but I'll have to go back to the drawing board for my turrets. I do have a few ideas, though. You can already tell Leopold is just kind of already getting a little off in his own head, wondering about the designs.
Why is your turret missing?
Are you familiar with the specifics of revival magic?
Do I take you for a bookworm? Revival magic is not seen from where I come from, given our worship of the Raven Queen and all.
Well, maybe with your time in the military, you might have seen some important general bite and get revived, but...
Oh, yes, I've known it to happen. I've seen bits and pieces. I've never really been a part of one, I should say.
Well,
Especially
fair
not so
enough, but
personally.
you can sacrifice items to make the revival easier to stick, one might say. I'm more familiar with the process than the methods behind it, if you understand. But that axe that we managed to get from Varus in his mansion, Wayne sacrificed that, and I sacrificed my turret. I
Well,
doubt either of us regret a thing.
I appreciate it, brother. I'm kind of like Rikus just loses train of thought, like he's imagining some of the events that transpired, and he's like, so was that Wayne pulling me out?
I think I would say probably, but this is pretty far outside my area of expertise. You would probably talk better on the matter with him, but conversations with Wayne can be, let's say, interesting. I have a great respect.
Well, we gotta
for
tell him to be. We gotta tell him to be a little bit more gentle next time he tries to attempt something like that.
Well, it may not have been Wayne dragging you at all. Like I said, I'm not sure.
It, strangely enough, felt like Wayne. I don't know why.
I would.
That
be
bastard's
careful
got a grip.
I would be careful about telling him that, though. He might just pull a harder next time to spite you.
I'm surprised I didn't come out with a bruise on my shoulder then.
Bruise on the shoulder, well worth it. Now, as for the reason I came here, I guess Yvonne still isn't down, but Behold, I think we still had a few minor points on getting you out of the city that we wanted to cover.
Theobald says, I've looked into a few things. I can't particularly say which we will be using, but I have a meeting later today.
Alright, and will you need any help covering the cost of getting out? I know you'd intended on just going back with Lycus and his group, but I'm not sure when they're leaving. Or even if we're going back to Revedan, though I imagine we probably are.
Well, my intent is to escort Yvonne and at least Percy back, and then from there head back up to Hafton.
Good plan.
Well, I think a trip in order to Revedan. Well, a trip to Revedan is in order. I do have a horse back
True, but like I was
back
saying,
in
I
town.
wasn't sure if Lycus and the general Revedan party were heading back anytime soon. Or if us now is divorced from the Caladrian Empire as we are, or even going to be allowed on the vote home.
I believe the word you're looking for is free agent.
Depends on how one views the situation. But while I'm thinking about things in Revedan, turret is probably high on my list, but how's your arm holding up, Rikos?
Surprisingly hurts like a bitch, given that I have minimal sensory feeling in that arm anyways.
Well,
Maybe it's just the shock of it.
I've never tried to... I've never tried to make a prosthetic before, but there's no time like the present to learn.
Theobald kind of says, I have a few ideas in mind.
Well,
I don't know if I should be concerned being used as a test dummy.
well, what are you looking for? That's the question.
Something that brings back function. And, well, more function to my ability to fire my rifles and such. And he, like, holds up his hand and tries to squeeze, like, on, like, his fork.
Some
Uses
level
the
of
other
fine
hand and
motor
picks it up.
skills.
It would be nice.
yeah, I imagine fine motor skills would greatly assist in maintenance in the field.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other things that could happen to it, but this time I'd like it with a little bit more stability. The other one got a little twitchy with how fast it could move. Sometimes it got ahead of me.
I'll keep it in mind.
All right.
And question, GM, how long has it been since I've been here?
Been here 10 minutes, 15 max. Technically,
I'm
in
just...
conversation time, 4, but we'll say it's been longer.
Yeah. I'm just wondering when Yvonne is getting down here, but oh well.
Yvonne.
Not hit the point of worry yet.
Yvonne does not come down for almost another hour.
Well, we're just conversing.
No.
Yes.
Suppose we're probably, drafting up initial plans for that arm of yours. Seeing how big of a gun we can strap inside of it.
Probably. When Yvonne comes downstairs, she does look a little disheveled, but she doesn't necessarily look any more tired than you would expect you do. She kind of comes down the stairs and sits down and kind of takes some of the cold food from the platter in the center of the table and just begins eating some. Kind of looks side to side, almost like daring someone to question why she's late, and then just continues to eat.
Oh.
You look like you've seen a ghost. You say morning, I say, yeah. You look like you've seen a ghost. Maybe two of them. I don't know, did you die too?
She kind of looks over. I haven't had such a exhilarating experience in the near history. At least I don't think so. Have I, Theobald? And Theobald kind of looks up and is like, not that I know of. She's like, good. Looks at you, Rikus, and then goes to eating again.
I
They fucking.
I look at Rikus. Rikus looks at Yvonne for a moment or so, and then realizes that he kind of dazed off again in his thoughts, which he has been doing repeatedly. Hi, James. You got a volleyball.
That's awesome.
He's dazed thinking about volleyball.
He's dazed.
Volleyball.
Goofball, you have
Rikus just thinking
Impeccable.
about the volleyball girls who called Nate Sigma earlier today.
James. You have impeccable timing to come in during every RP moment of mine. It's true.
And he'll continue to
Like
do
a
it.
child.
He will continue to do it. Bye, James. Anyways, apologies.
No worries.
No worries.
Kind of realizing that he doesn't know how long he's kind of been in this daze. Like, you ever been like space out looking at someone? Yeah, well, he just kind of like shakes himself. He's like, oh shit.
You come back to Yvonne seemingly finishing a sentence along the lines of, what, I can't just decide to sleep in after one of the greatest massacres our country has ever had?
No.
I only catch like half of that, and I realize I've been staring at her.
You will think so
Unironically.
and say, I don't believe I've ever known you to ever sleep in once in the entire time I have known you, Yvonne. Though
Well-
if there was a day, it would be today.
Well, technically, Leopold, I am on vacation, which, if memory serves, I never take.
You would be correct.
And since we are likely going home today, it was my last day of vacation.
Well, technically you'd account for travel time, but point taken.
Rikus shaking himself a bit, starts coughing a bit, and starts to reach out towards his ale, dropping the stone he's been palming on and off, slips out of his hand and falls to the ground, and he's like just kind of like hand trembling, reaching towards his morning ale, and it knocks it over, and just as soon as he does, just slams the oh shit! I slammed that.
Oh shit.
He
He's
slams.
dead.
He slams
The
it.
fucking whole table shatters.
Terrible
Also-
random cat sound.
Anyways,
Vegas. This is your
Just the
let's
Wilhelm,
not actually hit.
scream.
Let's not actually hit my table. Just slams the table, and fuck. And his other hand just kind of grasping his brow, closing his eyes, just like he's wincing in pain a little bit, and just his fist just like almost like white knuckles, which Leopold, if you're on his pale skin, you just see those white knuckles, and the fist is still just like violently shaking, and he's just kind of sitting there taking some deep breaths for a moment.
Fracas. The arm of yours is alright. It's causing you a lot of pain. I'm sure we can find some way to take it off until we can get you a replacement.
He completely ignores you for a few moments, and kind of registering what you said, just kind of opens his eyes and brings his hand down and says, "There's no feeling in my left hand.
Do you
Any pain is imaginary. It's just my imagination. How do I explain it? You've clearly never lost a limb, but it's like it's still there."
I'll suppose
It really doesn't hurt that much. I was jesting you when I said it.
Rikus, your knuckles were white, and you're a drow. Or fuck, you're a drow. You're a
Did he hit a-
Shadakai.
Careful.
At least in humans, that's generally a sign of extreme pain. Though I'll admit I'm not certain in Shadakai.
Rikus looks down at the fist that's still visibly shaking, and just kind of like with his metal hand, just kind of grabs it and brings it towards himself. And kind of looking up at the table, seeing the other, like looking up at Leopold finally, and looks around at the others at the table. Just kind of garnering their reaction. It's like, fuck, this is a awkward moment of weakness for myself.
You see
Like,
Theobald, who's kind of looking at you with raised eyebrows, say, "Do you need some moxie?"
No. No, thank you.
All right.
And he looks at Yvonne. It's like, oh well, this is awkward.
Just a little bit. Yvonne says, "I'm sure you all need to regather with the rest of your group to discuss where you are going now. I'm sure the others are up by now."
Probably, but they are still at least partially waiting on Lycus' decision, I believe. But if you think it's best we go, Maricus.
Rikus, upon kind of breathing, steadying his breathing, he opens up his right hand, looking down at it, and in a moment kind of panics, like checking his pockets, and then looking down on the floor, remembering it fell, like just reaches down and grabs the stone and kind of just holds on to it and puts it back in his breast pocket. And this time a bit more successfully reaching for Leopold's ale and taking a sip of it. Say, apologies, I seem to have had a party foul.
You'd better make sure not to spill that one. I was still drinking it. No, nursing might be more accurate.
I just kind of gently place it down and slide it your way and goes, I should be good now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I believe our tab's covered, and Leo will scoot his chair out before saying at least one last word of goodbye to Yvonne and Theobald. Make sure to keep in touch for every leg of a journey. I'll do the same, but
Theobald kind of
let's make sure we
responds,
keep each other safe.
"Yes, I will make sure to be sending messages. My expectation is we'll probably be leaving port sometime this evening, if all luck holds. I was able to get in contact with some people earlier, rather than later, yesterday, truly before even the worst of the riots began, just in case, and I reserved a few slots."
Alright, and with that, assuming Rakus is coming with, Leo and Rakus will be off.
I go gather my things and I kind of hobble out the door with Leopold.
As Leopold and Rikus return, they will find the other three of you guys discussing things over breakfast.
I notice him come in. Oh, thank God! I've been trying to reach you both for the past hour now. But
You have?
Wayne is having apparently had a vision Something about his father, or as he puts it, his daddy?
As you say that you've been trying to contact us for the last hour, I look really confused, and I kind of nudge Leopold, grab out my walkie-talkie, and realize it's been on mute this whole time.
It's been on mute. He has not been trying to contact you for an hour, maybe a couple minutes, but
Felt like an hour.
it felt like an hour.
But I definitely didn't get a message, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Alright, now that everyone's here, Wayne, go over it again slowly this time.
Fine.
Holy
Jerry
shit. You look like you died.
Shot.
I'm just gonna say that. just completely interrupting is like looking at Wayne is like, you look like you died.
I did. Like 3 times.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyways, how'd you die?
There. I saw it all. Well, some of it.
He had a wet dream and experienced someone else's reality.
Yeah.
How do you have that much cum?
A lot of practice.
I
You just broke
Just-
Jade.
I swear, you're gonna need to be drinking water all day today.
Please tell me this conversation is relevant.
I seem to have walked in on something.
Unfortunately.
Objectively, yes.
And
Gerald
please,
Winterholt fired the first shot.
please
But he
inform me
wasn't
as
carried.
to
Wait.
please inform me as to how Wayne's wet dreams are relevant. Actually,
Give him a
no,
minute
I
to
don't want
explain.
to know how they're relevant.
It's a wet dream given to him by God.
I listened to
There's a
Lycus's
lot of
speech,
goats.
and he said, "You're being a bitch."
Quick question for Equip DM. What is like a god of like love and such in your setting?
Dear Lord, that'll take me like 5 seconds to look up.
Aphrodite.
Love. Eldath is one. There's
That one will work.
Lilira.
Leo will quip. I thought you served Kellenborn, not Lyra.
Well, yeah.
So why is your god giving you wet vision,
Listen,
wet dreams?
shut up,
Because he
shut
had
up,
it coming.
Shut up. You're doing this? Do this.
Please
That's
sit
right.
through the
Good boy.
entire thing.
Let the man
yeah,
speak.
what?
He's.
I find that exceedingly patronizing.
I kind of start waving it at Leopold and be like, let the man speak. He's obviously experiencing some clarity.
You hear a set of thick wooden crutches hit the stone floor as Edmund rounds the corner. I believe I heard something about come, and I thought I was being called. And he kind of hopples over. Let the man speak. I want to hear about his wet dream. And he kind of sets the crutches on the table, takes food from Rikus's plate.
Does anybody know a human that was wearing long, flowing blue robes? They're kind of a rusty blonde, maybe a strawberry blonde, if you ask some people. They got some brown eyes. Anyone
Like
recognize that?
Well, I think they were blue.
Do you want us
You-
to roll history?
Yeah, you can roll history if you want.
I'll roll.
I just rolled
Guys,
one
Kira's
for-
colorblind. I don't know if you forgot that. So
No, Jade's colorblind.
no, that described every single person in the entire assembly.
Dirty 20 for Lynn.
Dirty 20.
Hold on. I was just making sure that it imported correctly.
15. Which reminds me, I still need to import my update. But we can do that later.
26.
So both Linen and Rikus remember seeing someone who fit that description, but Linen, your mind is brought closer to it because a man who fit that description was killed by Sakir via the knife.
Lynn will perhaps.
Right after he says that. Right after he says that describes everyone there.
Lynn will like kind of glance at Sakir, like, Sakir, you would know him
Oh.
a bit more personally.
Well-
Zach, I forgot to ask this before. I took some personal belongings off of his body, but I never marked it down.
We're gonna have to go back through the VOD later then.
Yeah.
Coin
Cool.
purse, wand, and that signet.
Yeah,
I
Galadriel-
think-
That's what I
Galadriel
thought
amulet.
too, but I don't remember
I
what the
think
signet
it's
looked
just
like,
those three.
or
It was a signet of one of the Khatanit deities.
that. Yeah, and I
Yes.
gave that to Lynn. Like,
To
Give that
Lycus.
Lycus, yeah.
You
But
still
you
have
do
the
have
wand
his
and
you
coin.
do have his coin purse and his wand, and the coin purse would have had his identification, is what the DM said last session.
I'm
Please
very
have
I'll go ahead
uncertain
and take
about
a wand
that.
out, and I'll go ahead and take this +3 wand of the War Mage out. Say, well, there was some difficulty in making sure he survived.
No, that's fine. He blew himself up anyways. Well, kind of blew. He actually had one of the biggest orgasms I've ever seen and just destroyed the entire room. Everything got blown away from him. Absolutely.
I
not.
highly doubt that.
Wait,
You weren't there. I was.
No, you weren't there. That's the thing. You saw this very secondhand.
I was
Hey.
there until I got a stone axe through my skull.
Yes. So again, that wasn't you.
Beside the point. Anyways, it was him and this little halfling dude and then a dragonborn. This is all sounding right, guys? I know you guys would know this part from later.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to roll a history check. The 3 different senators that were attacking the others was a human, a halfling, and a dragonborn.
Jeez, the one who set up the light wall for like half that battle.
I look at Edmund and be like, well, you you tell me if his story matches the bill, since you were there.
Edmund says,
Oh, and I forgot. His eyes, they were brown, but they were yellow for a minute. And then he went crazy. Like he was a brawler.
Ah, jeez.
So they might not have been bad guys, but then they became bad guys.
Edmund is gonna say, well, that does match the description, if memory serves, of one Gerald Winterhold of Team. But I don't remember exactly what names, which direct senator the others two were, but I remember one was from Rivercheg and the other was from Sargoth. They're seated together. Not like those two were seated in the same place, but Sargoth's senators are seated together, and then Rivercheg's are seated together as well.
So all
Yeah, well, Jerry's the one who opened his robes and then launched a massive load out the front. All right. He started it all. But then I caught an axe to the head, and I don't know what happened until we walked in. But then I was upstairs, and I was a guard. And I got to see Chartreuse and Pillar, the 2 freaks that we were fighting, and we absolutely cooked her ass. I know you guys remember that. And I know that Rikus is intimately familiar with Pillar. Yeah.
Pilat.
Yeah, him. Pillar.
where did you get his name?
Yeah, I guess I am
You
familiar.
shouted out for him.
I was unconscious.
Well, Rikus would remember him. But they were each
guess.
leading a group of orange rose. Hold on.
Orange what?
Yeah, like red and orange robes with like a black and brown cloak. Like groups of them. Each of the 2 big guys were leading 3 of them. And then I got hit with an explosion. But I'm a badass Senate guard, so I said, fuck these motherfuckers. And I started fighting anyways. Before I got my head cleaved into, though, I did see something that was important, but I don't understand. So there was a breastplate with 3 radiant heads looking like gods, which I think are the Catonic gods. But then there was a flaming horse with a rider with a horned helmet. And the horns go ring.
Yes, and you said this guy was very important.
Yeah, he's very important, but I don't remember why.
Yeah,
And it's an emblem.
You guys are welcome
Can
to
you-
roll history checks.
Radio.
Is it possible for you to draw this person, or do you have like illusions that you can cast to give us a better visual?
So it would be history or religion for this
I
check?
This would be history.
I hand you my emerald pen so that you could just kind of draw it in the air.
25 for Lennon.
Okay. We're more just
Damn,
rolling to
that
see
one.
who else really picks this up.
I want to use minor illusion to cast the depictions of what I'm describing, as far as like the symbols and whatnot.
Okay, will do.
And I put my emerald pen back in my pocket.
Then Zach, does Grim psychometry would that work for? Dang it!
These are not fiends, fire, undead.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's Fae, Fiend, or Undead. It's just an object or a place. I would get advantage on a history check, but like, it technically says I have to be in a place or be holding an object. So, and I
Yeah,
would get
you
advantage
wouldn't
on
have a
history.
physical object.
You said you were using minor
Alright,
illusion.
I rolled,
you were
but I
like,
don't know what it is.
This is the gore I saw in the
It's a
dream. This
natural
guy getting his
one.
head
It's
cut
also
off.
not showing up in the log. Are you sure you're
Yeah, I know.
doing the public roll?
Yeah. Well, I can't even see it. So
Jade's whole thing is fucked up. Also, Jade, last I knew, you did not level up.
I'm leveled up.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I'm contemplating a feat right now. I found one that was like, ooh, I really like this, and then I kind of realized that it might not be legal, so I want to discuss it with you.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's public.
Okay. So, with a DC of 25, Linen, you have heard whispers of a Catonic group that seems to bear a very similar symbol, very similar emblem. Seemingly the chosen, trained, raised from childhood soldiers of the Catonic Emperor himself, self-proclaimed God Emperor, we'll say, is known as the Hell's Riders. It's great music to go along with this revelation. But
You meet
This is
The-
amazing music.
the Hell's Riders, according to the legend that you've read, this is not 100% certain, because this is a group rarely spoken of and known. The hand of the Catonic Emperor's will. That the Hell's Riders are legitimately forced to ride into hell to gain their name and slay demons or devils upon the plains of Avernus.
That's pretty rad.
Wait, when you mean you saw a hell's if your depiction is accurate, you're saying you saw a Catonic Hell's Rider.
No, the Hell's Riders are the ones with the one big hand and the one small one, and they write all the things on the rules down.
No, the Catonic Hell's Rider is the
The Hell's
the-
Riders.
Yes, the actual Catonic Emperor's personal guard or military. What is it? I don't know. I guess you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's some pretty bad sons of bitches. Very
Might have been playing
effective.
time.
If you saw them here, then
Well, I didn't say that. I said I saw this symbol on one of their hilts. And if that symbol means that, then I guess I'm kind of saying that.
wait,
Who's
who's
hilt?
who's hilt?
The guy in the robe.
Who's
We've mentioned
who's
a
the
lot
guy
of
in the robe?
robes.
Yeah, you've mentioned like 5
A lot.
men in robes.
Because they were
You
all
say-
wearing robes.
So
It was not Palat who was wearing that robe. It was one of the people following him.
Right, that's what I mean. The robe people with Palat.
oh,
Palat
And
was
this
in like
was-
the heavy armor and all that.
And you're still in the capital in this experience you had.
Remember the floor that fell and took your other hand again? They were up there.
Ah.
oh jeez.
You wouldn't remember, Edmund, but yes.
So, to be clear, is this possession? These people that were being from before, whose eyes changed color.
Well, we do have one experience of someone very close to us.
That wasn't possession. It was manipulation. It's different.
Before we go down
Tomato,
that,
tomato, I don't know.
before we go down that line, Wayne, was there anything else you saw on your little vision session?
Oh yeah, I gotta be a fly and meet the Quintar.
Oh
The-
god.
He's a bad hombre.
Quintar who?
He's got some real big dick energy, you know? But like really
So that was the
big.
climax of your vision.
Like really big. Probably the biggest I've ever seen.
I look at Lennon, or I look at Edmund and say, remind me who Quintar is again. And I'm, at this point, I have the emerald pen, and I'm like, I put my little notepad in my metal hand, and I'm like actively writing and drawing like little bubbles and other things like that, like kind of plotting out all of my thoughts and all of the intel that we've gathered, kind of.
Edmund kind of leans over
Drawing
to you
lines.
and whispers, I believe Quintar is Varys' master.
Yes, that would be Varys' boss.
Yeah.
You know,
And
just kind of.
he's got a big like throne room, table room, war room. I don't know. It was a big stone room, had a sort of big table, but not really that big. It was like, I don't know, like a big dinner table, like a big one, but not too big. And everyone was like leaders. Maybe of the syndicate. They do mention the syndicates. Do you guys know about the syndicates?
That does not narrow many things down, but
Well, there's 4
Yeah.
of them. There's 4 syndicates. I'll tell you that much. I do know that much. They did say that there's 4 of them. And I'm pretty sure they sell guns and drugs and women and slaves and all sorts of shit. I don't know.
oh great.
You know the type.
The standard then.
Exactly. Well, they're with him. And then there's a dude with like maybe a scribe. And then some sort of like warrior dude. I don't know if he's a guard or a general. Something like that. That one of those types of guys. But yeah, the scribe was furiously scribbling the entire time. Like, hand never stopped moving. So he very much was taking notes. I wonder if I could have taken his notebook. That would have been cool. Anyways, yeah, so they were wearing burnt orange, or they were wearing auburn robes with a burnt orange stripe, and they had 4 yellow stripes that were on the sleeves. Does that ring a bell?
That does not ring a bell for any of you guys.
I'm just kind of like looking around, and everyone just is like, all right, cool, whatever. Going on. Well, they have a bunch of books that look like the ones that Lennon stole, and then they had a bunch of little clay figurines and a stage that looked like the Senate floor and all the senators. One of them was called the Viscount of Worry. Kind of a dumbass nickname if you ask me, but whatever, that's what they called him. And then someone's called Strife, and they were all arguing about how much money they were going to make because of this and how it was a shitty ass idea, but their allies are doing it, so fucking send it, I guess. And then they're like, it's cool because we're going to make a fuckload of money, but it's probably not going to matter because the short term outcome is probably going to not be worth the long term benefits. They're using some real big words and a whole lot of business planning that really didn't look the part of like creepy people in robes in a dark room somewhere. You know, like it really wasn't fitting the vibes. But apparently that's what they were having like a business meeting with the Quintar. And he pretty much made them all shit a brick because he was like, I don't care about your disillusionment about how awesome my fucking plan was because I've already succeeded and you guys are wrong for doubting me. That's pretty much how the conversation went. And not so many, but maybe more words.
DM, I would like to imagine,
but I don't know what they are or who they are.
You're still casting your minor illusion, right?
And everything.
Hold on, not DM. Wayne, I'd like to imagine that since you were found, just covered in cum, you changed into a robe and
sweat.
kind of put a towel around, you know, your neck and head and such, and in a robe, and you're just like you were in the lounge area or like the you know the dining hall or whatever it is, and you're just like propping your feet up with like this little mug of morning ale, just like total robe, wearing nothing else underneath the robe, you know, a little dew on the towel, and just kind of just like, now let me tell you.
Let me spill the tea.
Yeah, like literally just like cup. Okay, now here's what happened.
Do you want your tea
like,
iced or scalding hot?
And just like one hand is like doing this, but totally doing the semantics to like change the minor illusion, and you're just like way too excited to be talking about this tea. Like I don't know, I can't get this image out of my head.
Two memes.
Also, what?
What?
My two most recent memes plus what he just said, and that's what's going on.
Bro, you see, it is all a part of the plan.
Right.
Oh my god, memes.
I'm gonna compile these notes and for Lycus later.
You hear Edmund say, Wayne, would you perhaps at all be able to say whether the man wielding the sword with the flaming horse looked comfortable, like that was his sword, or perhaps it may have been stolen? Likelihood of Hell's Rider's blade being stolen and used for something like this may not be high, but if the original theory is correct, and this is a false flag attack via the Quentar and these seeming syndicates, that would mean they also made an attack and raided Katanet wares. If that is not a Katanet Hell's Rider themselves. In which case, the Katanet Empire would never admit that the Hell's Rider materials and equipment had been stolen, and therefore would have to take responsibility for such an attack as this, else ruin their reputation.
Reich is kind of finishing drawing another line on his like total scribble that he's kind of almost drawn around him with his emerald pen, just floating in space. Stops and says, well, Edmund, I wouldn't put past the vampire demon daddy of all vampires to gain a Hell's Riders in his possession, given what happened with Pax and the attempts made with Pax. Hi, James. Again, during my RP. That's amazing. Are you saying goodnight?
Timing.
Alright, give me 2 seconds.
Can I recall
Can you wave and say goodnight?
Beard?
Can you say goodnight? You want to say hi? Say hi. Everyone's waving. Say hi. Hi. All right. Now say good night. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye bye bye. Bye bye. Wait. All right, run to mommy.
Like an insight or something.
Anyways,
Hold on, Rikus. What did you say? Wayne?
yeah.
Can I roll like an insight to see if I can recall, like, how he seemed with it?
Yeah, sure. Go
Was
ahead
he the
and
one
go ahead and roll an insight at disadvantage.
that- insight disadvantage?
I'll slap you with guidance. So 1d4 to whatever.
Dear lord.
No.
Dear lord.
Wade is rolling well today.
A nat 20 and it went away. Is that guidance also?
Yeah. So slap a d4 on that.
All right, Rikus. What were you saying?
As Rikus was saying, I wouldn't put past. Anyways, as I already said. However, Edmund, you did mention that the three that were the three senators that were violent and attacking everybody, they were from Sargoth's team in Rivacheg, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All coastal cities.
That's beyond the point.
Wait, is it
Of the
though?
encounters that we know of, that we've had with Varys, have been in or related to those three cities.
Correct.
Wait, what if Varys has a really big fucking boat and he's just on a boat somewhere?
We already know he had a shipping company. That again, that's the coastal city that's beyond the point. Those three cities, Varys had activity in. I wouldn't put it past it that Varys is absolutely involved in the manipulation or control of these three senators.
Well, technically, Team was his brother, Vicious,
Well, no, Varys was
No,
there.
no.
He went to the city,
to support Vicious, no?
but he was still there. He could have very well been pursuing his own agenda at the time.
Regardless, it was three cities where we had encounters with Varys and his troop, or brothers, or whatever you want to say. That explains what we need so far about the three senators that initiated the attack. And the flash of yellow from their eyes more than confirms it at this point that they were under the control or manipulation of Varys.
Does that mean we need to investigate Senator Lucar as well, since he's from Team?
That is a lead that we have. We also have leads leading back to the Vox with the weapon shipments and munitions that were shipped to Suno. We also have the leads to Kondora. We also have the leads to Zadash and Dern. I started just drawing lines all over the place, like referencing lines I've drawn all over the place. Beyond the point.
Reich is having a stroke.
Rekus, sit down. I'm gonna check your mending to see if your head was put on correctly.
Yeah, after all his rasping, I think that Sakire's gonna go up to him. He's gonna have a liquor bottle that he's gonna hand over to him and say, "For your throat."
Edmund's going to speak up and say, I must say the detective is on to something here. At least it seems it. While it is certain that there is likely interests of Valarium holdings elsewhere in the Galadrian Empire and likely elsewhere as well, it is certainly interesting that Varys was in Sargoth, Vicious was in Team, likely in Rivacheg as well. We don't have a confirmed sighting of Varys in Rivacheg, so we're uncertain on how that one came about. Perhaps the
But
third
given the
brother we know
locale
nothing
and
about.
given the locale of the Fox, I wouldn't put past that. And
No, it seems
we
accurate.
did have quite a long night in a tavern in team with Varys' camp. So Varys is also confirmed in team.
Yes, yes,
Did
yes.
you say anything on that 20 about the guy in the dream or the vision with the sword?
Oh,
And how
I have not yet. No. He does appear comfortable with it, but with a total of 20 on insight, you can't perfectly tell, but it certainly would be in question onto whether like this would be his weapon.
So he was a skilled swordsman regardless.
A skilled swordsman,
Might not have been specifically tailored to him.
yeah.
Because a swordsman of his caliber would likely have one that was perfectly honed to themselves.
Yeah. Built for his build, his arm length, his total height, his weight. So there being even a slight discrepancy in that is somewhat curious.
Maybe he just got married.
Ah, yes. He took an arrow to the knee.
Edmund, you do bring up a good point that we do not have any confirmed sightings in in Rivachek. That is also in close proximity to the Vox. I believe that is. I can possibly agree with
Didn't
the
they
group.
say they came from the south? And we're headed
My
north?
memory. I rub my neck and say, my memory seems to fail me on that one.
We also know that they have contacts out further west in Kondura to contact some of the cults.
You hear
And
Edmund... Sorry, go ahead, finish, Zach.
Oh, and we also know that they've at least been to Zadash thanks to these golem books.
Just to kind of finish my little point was, Rikus will be like, it may not be a bad idea to start with our lead towards Rivacheg and maybe give a check-in on the Vox.
Yes,
Given
I agree
how the
with.
Senate went.
I agree with checking out the Vox first. Likely going to be the easiest target, and well, after yesterday, I think we could all use some long time to recuperate, perhaps.
You hear Edmund say, well, I'm obviously... He kind of puts his completely smashed, cast-wrapped legs. I'm obviously not going to be joining you, but I believe it would be best if you're intending to speak to Lycus about this, jotting all this down on paper. What exactly leads do you have? You have Valarium Holdings purchasing weapons from the Vox, or at least from the Lightstar Forge. You have senators from Sargoth Team and Rivacheg, Rivacheg being the only unknown one, likely the most interesting to look into. You have... what else?
Colton Kondura.
Colton Kondura, which that was the Cult of the Fourth Claw, if memory serves.
Correct. Bronze Hunter or something? Not Bronze Hunter. Bronze something. Anyways. We
can check in with your fam. Where's your fam live?
Yep, sure do. They sure do.
Where do they live?
Yeah, they sure do. Somewhere in the Divine Hand mountain range. Zach, where was it? It was like we were very vague about
So
the details on
it is in between the two peaks of the Divine Hands.
Yeah, it's a floating rock.
What am I remembering about Zadash? Why am I remembering Zadash?
Zadash, we got the golem books we appropriated came from a store in Zadash.
Oh
Isn't
my
Leopold
God.
from Sadash?
Yes. Leopold is from
Team.
Zadash.
Fox,
Other than
Rivacheg,
that,
Zadash,
we have some
Divine Hands.
we have very weak leads into like katana stuff at the moment.
We know that Jelkla and Gislin were raising banners. We learned that in Durnhill, or near Durnhill. In that it was like over here was where our inn was when we were hunting down Big Moon Boy, which we could.
If we want
try
to
to
look, if we want to look into any Hell's Riders, we might have to go as far north as Kenked. Something like
Are you
that.
having difficulties?
Truthfully,
You
I
mean
don't think we can.
Kenket?
Yes, I couldn't read the font.
During the fact that war declarations on the absolute
Yeah, it's
horizon.
gonna be a bit difficult.
Yeah,
Basically anything in this area is going to be like probably not for the moment.
Also, we never.
Which means we would have to travel if we were to travel from Kundura anywhere. We would have to move around to get there through the Dwendalian Empire, but we have to get into the Dwendalian Empire. But that should be pretty easy since we've forsaken
Also,
any ties to the Cthulhu Empire.
We've never followed up on what happened in Werecheg for the mission we never took, so we might want to follow up on that and see if there's any useful info.
What in the highlight? The whole map just turned pink.
That was not me.
So we could
Werecheg. I believe we could probably just follow up with Lycus on that one,
just in case.
Okay, I want somebody to make a list of all of these leads, like an unironic list.
So the current list I have
DM,
compiled...
will you give me drawing controls?
Sorry.
Just give us drawing controls, and we're gonna draw out.
Just don't draw. Just don't draw. Do not draw a penis on the map.
I know we have the drawing module. You just have to give us permission to use it.
Able to freehand draw.
Regardless of drawing, the current list of leads I have is Varys's shell company that I don't remember purchasing stuff from the Lightstar Forge.
Negative.
We have the senators from.
I'll activate it here. I
gotta go pee. And we have the Colts and Kundura. So I believe we have 3 leads we can realistically follow.
Okay, can you list them out again? Thomas was half talking and I was half trying to figure something out.
So we have Varys's shell company purchasing stuff from the Lightstar Forge. We have the senators from Team Sargoth and Rivacheg, and we have the Colts and Kundura. Any others you all think I'm forgetting?
I think those are the main
all the ones that I just said.
I mean, you have notes with Varys you could continue to pursue conversation in.
Yeah.
You have... I'm certain you have more than that. You have the bookstore in Zadash. That's a minor lead.
Yeah.
If you end up going to Zadash.
Yeah.
You have all of the other buildings that Valarium Holdings owned here in Suno.
That's a good one. Do have to still investigate those.
Well,
because there was a few buildings in the Mid-District Bazaar, and then there were some warehouses down by the docks.
Yeah.
So I have it noted that Valarium Holdings had 3 properties, as at least in Suno. There's some in other cities. So there was the residential home we raided. There was a small abandoned area in the Mid-District Bazaar, and a small warehouse near the quays on the western Leocart quarters.
Yes. So that is another lead that you may want to add to the list.
Yeah.
We can also probably send messages out to, not Rivage, to Revenant to look for any notable Valarium Holdings locations. Other than that...
Well, yeah. So it kind of seems we'll wrap up ties in Suno. Check back in Revadan to resupply, and I've got to grab my horse.
You also have the Greyhand Keep to consider on if you want to go and spend some downtime, either in Revadan or at the Keep.
Greyhand Keep.
I will add a marker for it, but it is up in this area.
We probably
Okay.
could like.
So really, it's finish. So our actual path right now is
Like,
yeah,
Evident first.
yeah, and then
We could
here
just.
I got it.
Yeah.
So clear up in Suno, head into Revenant, check in with things. Should we touch back in Sargoth?
I don't know if there is much to touch back
Yeah.
in Saga.
It's a
Well,
long
we're gonna
way.
touch back with the Vox. Maybe check in with the Senator while we're there, since he'll likely be back home. Since he'd be traveling just straight back.
Unless he decides to stay in the capital.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we can at least check in with the Stone Sides. See and investigate in Rivacheg if there's any real weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Point back, and we move up to Zadash. Why are we going up here again?
That's the
Because
Great Hand
that is
Keep.
where our yeah.
It's where
which
the
is our new base
Inexorables
of
home
operation.
base will be come
Yeah.
a couple days from now.
Okay. Then yeah, Zadash check in at home base, and then if we have any leads, Kandura. But if we have anything pointing us towards Kandura, we can. Basically, once we check back in at home, that's where it's like more of a. Where do we go from there?
Yeah. Recompile notes and see what
Yeah.
happens.
I feel.
Do we want to stop by Sargoth before hitting up team?
I don't
Depending on how
think it's
things
necessary.
I'm not sure on naval travel times, but it might be faster to take a boat down to Sargoth and then sail the team from there rather than
Yeah.
take a boat all the way down to Tolga and
We
go
can-
over land.
We can check in with the local police at Sargoth as well
But-
to see if there were any notable
But
changes.
walking. Well, I guess we could check in with Sargoth on any developments they found on
Yeah.
the companies there. I'd say if we take a boat down to Sargoth, so I mean,
Yeah.
finish up. So finish up here. Yada yada. Revenant. Boat down to Sargoth.
Yeah.
I
Then-
wouldn't mind walking or traveling by land here because then we can check in with the local populace.
Well, we can boat to team from Sargoth.
Well, but what I'm saying is from Sargoth, like
Oh.
if we travel by land, we can check in with local populace along the coast on any sightings or anything like this because we still don't know about Aranon. Anyways, check in with the Vox and the Stone Sides and team, see what remains of Vicious' hold and any evidence they've gathered from that. Check down in Rivacheg, come back up, reconvene, I'm sure, with the Vox a little bit. Head up to Zadash home base.
Okay. So, if that is agreed upon as a general plan, we'll have.
If anyone has any other input.
Does anyone have any other input? I would like to close up here pretty soon since school has started and it is a weeknight, but I would like to run one last scene before we go to bed.
The one comment I would like to make on this is: are we getting any significant downtime on this, or are we just going straight in?
That's up to you guys.
That is up to
I
us.
I would vote downtime because you need an arm and I need a turret.
Yeah, at least
And-
replenishing supply, at least long enough to replenish supplies.
Yeah,
And if we recall, the very end of last session, I did send a courier to go pick up my fancy bullet.
Yes, you did. Which he will
With
have gotten back to
more-
you today.
and my
Yeah,
lantern.
with more money for. Well, I guess I can yeah, we'll discuss it later, DM.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that, meeting with Rikus that morning.
Rikus?
Lycus.
Lycus. Okay.
I probably said Rikus. I meant Lycus. Meeting with
just making
Lycus this morning. So, You guys approach him. He, bids you good morning. Hopes you slept well. So, what is your guys' plan? I obviously have to stay here for at least 2 more days due to the meeting with the Orgas Matos tomorrow, but past that, I will likely be heading towards the Greyhand Keep after a short dip back in Revedan.
Well, the good news is we also have a short dip back in Revedan. Do you want me to speak it all out?
You could just say, I kind of lay out the general idea.
Yeah, I kind of, glean over all of these scribbles I made and over the air, and then I pull out a map, pull out my map scroll, best to my abilities, and then I, with my little emerald pen, kind of draw circles from Suno to Revedan to Sargoth to across the team, Vox, Rivacheg, up to Stash, back up to home base.
I'll also pass as a small spark notes of the whole Wayne's divine visions.
He kind of puts his hand in his head and says, "Divine visions be damned. Well, hopefully everything you saw was accurate. If so, that is incredibly disconcerting."
And here I was going to say you were having a pretty compelling speech before all hell broke loose.
I'm not entirely certain it would have swayed anything. We were guaranteed...
Of them.
Close to, but I'm fairly certain that's all that would have swung that way. I'm entirely uncertain, but let us not cry over spilt milk, as they say.
Or spilled blood.
Or blood. Well, there was a lot of spilled blood. Many cried over that. Regardless, things seem to have calmed down here in Suno. It seems any of the surviving assailants from yesterday have abandoned the city, or at least fled into the mass populace, but nearly a quarter of those who were here for the Festival of the Rise have left to return home at this point. This will be a very, very poor showing of a festival this year, but I'm sorry to say the tournament that would have been starting in 3 hours has been X'd.
No!
The whole.
Oh, yes, so sad. Well, I will be staying here until tomorrow evening, and then likely, Intrati will be up here with us at that point. Hopefully we will be able to find swift passage back to Revedan. That would be putting us back sometime mid on the 16th. I would encourage you to take some time to rest, whether that be in Revedan or at the Greyhand Keep. But the Greyhand will be pretty much abandoned when you get there, if you get there before me. I do encourage you to, when you are rested, pressure this Quentar and any other group of syndicates he may be working with. I will attempt to send support your way whenever you are requiring it, but this will be mostly your mission. I have already received multiple sending stones and consequent disconnections of those sending stones of small groups of mine deciding they no longer wish to be a part of the Inexorables. War is sadly more profitable. We will be somewhat restarting at square one, come the Greyhand Keep. Not square one, square 3, maybe.
One thing that does keep bothering me is Wayne's vision, or Wayne's brief explanation of his visions implies that the Quentar has already, people in powerful positions under his control.
Yes.
So I wonder if any recent power vacuums or replacements are worthwhile looking into.
Well, they don't even have to be replacements. It seems that a vampire such as strong as him, or even some of his sons, you could say, or lieutenants, creatures similar to Varys and Vicious, seem to have the power of compulsion. extended such compulsion, making a thrall of one, without turning them undead, as if any of those senators were undead, a la carte of vampire, when they entered the Senate chamber, they would have been marked and set aside for interrogation. In fact, generally, if there is any sort of charm effect or any particular form of illusory magic upon one, it is generally also detected. I don't know if it is some old magic and undetectable by our modern means, or if it is merely internal manipulation of the defenses before the attack began.
Yes.
What about daggers and explosive vests? Isn't the magic supposed to stop that?
I thought so, but obviously not. Well, I can't say much about the daggers. Gods are allowed their items. Certain members of the Senate, if they are known to be professionals in their field, are allowed certain items in, say a wand or a dagger. But
Speaking of wands, Sakir, could you bring out that wand you said you took off Senator Winterhold?
I am no expert, but I can tell this is worth a pretty penny.
like it says, quite actually. Very expensive. May I see it?
Hands it over, like, really hoping he doesn't just take it from him permanently.
Lycus kind of looks at it and twirls it and says, "This is quite an expensive item. You said this was being wielded by Gerald." He's still like holding it. If you reach out to try to grab it, he'll give it back, but he'll be like,
yes, it is an expensive item. He takes it from him.
examining it. How kind. It is no more than the expense someone like a senator who is skilled with magic would have.
Right.
Guess it's nothing special, man.
Well, on the topic of money and expenses and everything else, I realize our budgets are thin, but if you are cutting the reins on this investigation of ours, is there anything you can spare the coin purse for the team?
How much are you wishing for, Rykus? I cannot spare much, but I may be able to spare a few thousand.
I look at Leopold. I was like,
I'll say
he's does numbers better than me.
my internet blipped for a bit. The last thing I heard was not DM Zach saying nothing.
I
much-
have
how much
no
money did
clue
you
how
ask
much.
for?
I don't know how much you missed. He did not ask for a particular number. Lycus kind of said, "We can spare a few thousand, maybe."
Well, on the topic of money, there was actually something I wanted to broach. So no, as we are no longer affiliated with the Caladrian Empire, we no longer are able to operate out of the Academy of the Dawn. I was wondering if it might be worth it to keep my house in Revedan as Inexorables base of operations, or if we do need the money, if it would be worth it to sell the property and invest in furnishing the keep.
I already have set aside enough to furnish the keep. Currently, I might as well just tell you the numbers. Currently, my personal coffers and the coffers of all those dedicated to or connected to the Inexorables organization, along with my inheritance for giving up my passages, is 52,000 gold pieces currently. That is what we have on hand. 30 of which goes to the purchasing and leasing of the keep as it is, taxes and all. It will likely take another 3 to 4 to fully furnish it out, purchase things for such an artificer or crafter or designer, such as yourself, Leopold. I know you have some of your own materials, but we will not just have you in this facility. That is the hope. On top of all other purchases, we'll put it at least 4,000 gold pieces. Past that, that leaves us with 18,000 gold pieces. Part of which must be sent out to other parties who have finished their mission and have gold promised to them. That will account for another 7,000. Even though they have abandoned their time here with the Inexorables, they have 4 groups of which have still finished their current mission and are expecting payment. Leaving us with 11,000 gold pieces to the Inexorables' name. I could spare 4 for you.
I'm not in it for the money. Oh, speaking of which, he's gonna throw a bag of gold to Lennon and say, "That should cover us."
Wait, for what? You don't owe me
His
money
debt.
anymore.
Yeah, I owed you
Yeah, he
like a
does.
couple hundred more gold.
Did
I think
I
600.
thought, no, I thought
something
you
like that.
I thought you paid it off.
No, I
Yes,
think I
not
paid
yet.
part of it.
He
I
paid
didn't pay the
No.
a
rest
couple.
of it.
He paid like a couple hundred golds worth.
Right,
no,
I just gave you
yeah.
probably some platinum. He didn't even look what's in the bag. I don't know how much he just gave you. It's
I don't even
whatever
remember.
that.
I don't even remember how much you owe me, man.
It's whatever the guy had on him. Whatever
It
the
was-
senator
you-
had
you-
on him.
You owed him like something somewhere around the range of like 600-700.
Yeah,
gold.
I know it's like he owed me 600, but I don't remember how much he
Well,
paid
he
me
owed him
back.
6, and I think he gave him 300 in an attempt to pay it down recently.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
like he owes
Well,
you 300 or something.
We'll
like that.
assume.
Something
We'll
like
assume.
that. It's
We'll
paid for
assume
now.
300. I'll take that out. I'll like peek in the bag, see if there's anything useful in it. I'll take the 300
Just
out
a
and I'll
bad
hand the rest
diamond.
to him.
You peek into the bag, and you immediately shake it around, and you hear coin inside, but you don't like immediately see the bottom of the bag, almost as if it's magically capable of holding a little
Screw
bit
you,
more than
Zach.
anticipated.
Fucking hell.
It does
It's
not
one of
hold its
these.
maximum capacity currently,
Yeah.
but it does hold 250 platinum pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very funny.
Linen will. What's 300 gold and
That would be
200?
30 of the platinum pieces.
Thank you. 30 plat. I'll take. So 250. I'll take 30 of that to 220. I'll divide it in half. Give the magic bag and the half to Secure, and I'll give the 110 platinum. Slide it over to Lycus, saying, "We'll add this to the inexorable funds."
He kind of looks at it and says, "You didn't happen to steal that off of a elected senator of the Caladrian Senate, would you, Secure?"
No, Lennon did not steal that bag.
I asked you,
Dang
Secure.
Sorry, there's just enough lag for you to say like in the middle of my sentence. Dang it.
He's gonna say, "Well,
Well,
you're going to be leaving,
dead
so
senator.
they're gonna have a hard time finding you."
A dead senator and a senator that
Shot
has
first.
questionable motives.
There was a lot of rubble.
for all we know, I found that bag.
Let's go.
That
with
was never collected as evidence, so.
Let's go with that for now, just for simplicity's sake. All right. Well,
How much could you sell your house for? Looking at Leopold.
Well, I mean, I'm perfectly willing to do so, but like I was saying, I was wondering if it is worth more as a base of operations in Revedan should we need the occasion.
Lycus is going to say, "I believe it would be best to keep it for now. Maybe clean out the rooms just in case. I will be looking at hiring some more adventurers, but we will likely have to bring out newcomers rather than veterans in the game. People trying to make their name while the big dogs are off to war. It will take some time for them to get to any sort of level where they can truly do things independently, but it's the best we can do for now."
Well, in terms
Well
of
then,
funds.
In terms of funds, he's going to slide the 1100 back over and say, "For your communal fund," and he's going to add 1900 on top of it.
so
to
Okay.
give you
that
guys
makes the
to give you guys $3,000 of communal for inexorable investigations. He's going to say,
Right. 600 each.
And I'm going to
Keep it as communal.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was gonna grab the bag from Sakir, drop it in there, and then hand it over to
Where'd you put the bag?
the bag of holding.
Yeah, don't put the bag in the bag of holding. Rikus, do not put this coin pouch into a bag of holding.
Why not?
Extra dimensional spaces do not mix. You might send us all to the
Yes.
astral plane.
I only had to make the mistake 3 times.
Really?
What? How did you get so many bags of holding?
Well, they kept giving me bags of holding without telling me what they were.
How have you not been sent to the astral plane by now?
I got lucky.
That
I
entirely.
kind of
fits
mean, it
with
wasn't
personality.
look up at Lycus like put in bag.
Lycus is going to be shaking his head vehemently. Just no, Lycus. Keep them separate.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
Lycus is going to say, "Well, I have things to do, and so do you. So it would be best if we parted ways. Keep in touch via our sending stone, but I will not expect to see you for a little while."
Well, stay safe, Lycus.
You as
Thank
well.
you for all your help.
Yes, thank you. I will also note one last thing. As I said previously, it will not be enforced by any means, but I would like everyone here to review back through the oath that I gave. By the time you arrive at the Grey Sand Keep, I would like some sort of answer from each of you.
Alright.
Well, I suppose that will give us all something to think about, if nothing else.
Yes, I think it will.
And I assume we end the session there.
We're gonna go ahead
So-
and end the session with that, yeah. Yeah,
3,000 gold fund, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, communal.
Okay. I
Communal.
just wrote that down in my notes.
And there is. Well, I guess one of these is kind of an in-game thing. One of these is more of a meta thing. On the in-game front, are you guys okay with both Wayne and I buying like 300 gold piece diamonds for a Vivify?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's
I
probably,
don't see why not.
given the track.
I don't
record.
know what else our resident
As a
goon
side-
lord has in his coffers, but
As
He's
a,
like,
as a side-
guys, I need more incense so I can goon all night and get us information.
as a
I'm
side
sure
note,
the goon lord would also like to go back to Revedan to check the collection baskets and how they've been the last couple weeks.
weeks. It's been
He
like
literally
4
sets
days.
up candles and rituals.
Well, he never said he
Mood.
went back and checked the collection baskets when we went back 4 days ago.
As
Look,
a side
being a hero of the Senate will surely bring more people to the church.
Surely.
hopefully.
Word definitely
Surely.
won't get out that one of your group may or may not have killed one of the senators.
How would they
He
find
was-
that out?
He was
Just fucking around.
he was dead before we got there.
He
alright?
was dead. It's not like there was
Something hidden.
18 other senators there.
He threw himself at my dagger. What was I supposed to do?
No, remember, Lycus downed him, and we were just finishing him off.
Either
Alright.
way,
Yeah.
so I guess two things. One of which is kind of a question for the party, one of which is kind of a question for the DM. Or maybe kind of both. Either way. How long do we want to spend on downtime? Because I feel like with scenes I kind of want to do, I could probably fill an entire session with just RP. But I also know that we like dawdle like hell, and I don't want to make that any worse for you, DM.
I mean, it's expected at this point.
We're going to
However-
be having a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
However, what I'll say is we're going to probably wrap up Suno next session, is the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured we were heading back to Revedan with Lycus, since he's heading back with
Yeah.
his
We're probably investigating the Valerium holding buildings in Suno, and that's about it.
Yeah.
you're
I
probably
mean, there's only
investigating.
2 of them we need to do.
So probably one session doing that, and then if you guys want to time jump after the meeting with the Orgasmatos, you can, or if you just want to head back right then and there to Revedan, you're welcome to. And then my expectation is probably a day, maybe 2, maybe more, if you guys decide downtime on Revedan before getting on your way.
And that is the other question I was going to ask was, how long do you want us to try and spend going, like, the Sargoth team Rivacheg route?
Well,
at the very least, from my perspective, it seems like the most, I guess, interesting plot threads would be either A, messing around the Greyhand Keep and setting up an actual base of operations, or, going to Kinduras for Lynn and family time.
Let's just say this. Every single one of those locations does have information for you guys to get.
Okay, so probably not montaging past them.
Nope.
We will probably not speed montage, but we will try and montage in some regard. You'll go to Sargoth, we'll make some checks, we'll see what you find, we'll see what the other people have found while you were gone. Stuff like that.
Travel along the road, check in with Aaron and people, move along, hitting up villages, go to team and the Vox, go down to Rouge.
Either way,
Be a lot of trouble.
we can discuss more of that after we have finished in Suno. So we're gonna go ahead and end it there.
Oh, I thought you'd already ended the recording.
Not yet. No, we were discussing still.